everyday thing. It's an everyday thing. It's an everyday thing when you let your nuts hang.
I'm Grace. I own the very pink Airbnb that you may have seen floating around TikTok, and this is the story time of how it got destroyed. I'm really nervous to record this because people in the comments have been going a little bit insane, and that stresses me out in a big way. I want to remind you that I am a real person. Please have some humanity when you're talking to me or about me. Please have some humanity for everyone that you interact with, even if they're on the internet, because there's a real person on the other end of things. I'm gonna try to be as concise as possible. I'm not gonna try to do 100 parts. This is already my second go at recording this. I already tried to record it once and I literally talked for 10 straight minutes and I just feel like I blacked out. So I was just like, oh my God, I gotta start over. So it might be a few parts. I'm doing my best here. That's all I can say. For everyone in my comments that's very angry about Airbnb and just furious and you know, you're the scourge of the earth type of thing, I just want you to know that like, I'm not a mogul. I'm not a billionaire, a millionaire, or a conglomerate, or a corporation. I'm one person. I'm a single entity. I'm Grace.
Man, what the f
I
is
own
going
a very
on with
pink
this?
Airbnb that you may have seen
Bro.
floating around TikTok, and this is the story time of how it got destroyed. I'm really nervous. I already tried to record it once, and I literally, for everyone in my comment, I'm one person. I'm a single entity, and this is the only home that I own. My ex-husband and I worked really hard to even be able to afford it. We saved for literally the 11 years that we were married, and we worked on it together for a full year. We lived out there, we did everything ourselves because we couldn't afford to hire anybody else. So like, before you just make a snap judgment on someone, you'd never know the full story. I want to remind you of that, and also that where I own this house, well, first of all, I live in LA, and so one of the reasons we bought this house is because we couldn't afford to buy a house in LA. I still can't afford to buy a house in LA. I can barely afford the house that I have. But so we bought where we could afford, and also where we bought, the city has certain stipulations and laws in place that prevent too many Airbnbs from operating in the city. They keep it to a small percentage of the overall entire housing population so as not to displace locals, but also to have places for tourists to come and stay, because tourism is a huge part of the local economy and it provides jobs for the people that do live there. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, you know what I mean? You want to just like be like, wipe Airbnb off the face of the earth, but there is some good that comes from it too. So please just keep that in mind as well. We're forgetting more things, but again, I'm just doing my best. If anyone is coming for me being like, you didn't do any of this yourself, blah, blah, you were married. Yes, we bought it together. We renovated it together. We got divorced afterwards, unfortunately. But I bought him out of the house afterwards. So I own this property myself. It is mine and mine alone at this point. To clear that up as well. One more thing before I start this story, I'm so sorry. I just want to say that if you've seen this and you're like invested in the destruction of my house, I hope that you'll be invested in the construction of my house, because like I said, my ex-husband and I got divorced after this project happened, and because of that, I never even posted about it. And that makes me even more sad on top of everything else, because this is something that we put a lot of thought and care and love and intention into, and we created something really special, and I know that, and I want to be able to share that with people. So I hope that that will matter to you too. All right, let's do this. The story. My ex-husband and I bought this house a few years ago. We renovated it for a full year together. Like I said, it was on Airbnb for less than 2 years when this happened. The incident itself happened almost 4 months ago, like to the exact day. It was a group of girls staying at the house. They reached out. She was like, hey, I love the space. You know, I want to celebrate my 23rd birthday out there. Great. Can't wait to have you. Stays fine. And then I think it was a Sunday. It was their last full day staying there. The guest reached out and she's like, hey, like, we don't have any water at the house. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. This has never happened before. Like, let me look into it and get back to you. So I do a little research and I find out that there's been a break in the city main line. So this isn't like a pipe that flooded at my house or anything. This was a city main line. They shut the water off for the whole city. It was an emergency shut off while they made the repair. And I let her know that. I was like, hey, they're actively working on repairing it right now. It should be back up in a few hours. I will keep you posted with any further updates that I have as I have them. They're like, no problem. We have bottled water. No worries. Okay, great. Several hours later, I actually get a call from my neighbor out there. And he's like, your house is flooded, like, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you talking about? First of all, this is a worst nightmare, a worst case scenario call that you never want to get this call. You know what I mean? So I go to Airbnb, I see my guest has messaged me and she's like, hey, can we get on a phone call? It's urgent. I call her. She's like, the house is flooded. Okay. And she admits fault to me over the phone. She's like, we left the faucet running. So it's like, you know, they had gone around turning faucets and whatnot on in the house. And they left the tub, like shower tub combo faucet on. And some of you are like, well, like it's an accident, like you couldn't be able to tell. But it's like, it's not the knob ones. It's like one of the ones that's just one handle, right? So it's like, it's very easy to tell when it's on and when it's off. That's like common knowledge, right? So, and I don't know if the tub drain was plugged or what. All I know is that, you know, over 1,000 gallons of water was dispersed out into my house, according to the water district out there. I call my cleaner right away. I'm like, hey, this happened. Can you get out there and just try and start getting rid of as much water as soon as possible? Sure. She goes out there. She's like armed with the shop vac. She is just shop vacuuming like, you know, huge tubs of water. I think she told me she shop vacuumed at least 19 of these full things out of the house. It was a lot of water. The thing about this whole situation is a lot of you guys are like, it was an accident. Like, you don't have the right to be upset, which first of all is crazy. I understand accidents happen, but that doesn't change that the outcome of something is horrible and devastating. You know what I mean? Like when someone's killed in a car accident, well, it's an accident, but that doesn't change the fact that someone was killed. Like, that's still a really hard, sad situation. And I'm not comparing my house to the death of someone, but I'm just giving a more extreme example to show that, like, outcomes of accidents are still devastating. But the thing about this situation is, like, my cleaner told me that when she got there, the guests were drinking and they were taking shots while she's shop vacuuming water out of my house. Like, that's how much they cared. They didn't. And I never received an apology, not from any of the guests. Not 1 ounce of contrition. Do you know how far that would go? Like, if I put a scratch on someone's wall while I stay there, I would have apologized. They flooded my whole house and they did not apologize. And then on top of it all, they asked for a refund. I asked for a refund for the last day that they were staying there. Airbnb gave it to them because they, you know, they didn't have water in the house. And the guests had I have messages from them asking, they're like, hey, can we still stay here tonight? Like, it's not actually that wet. And I was like, no, like, even if I said yes, Airbnb is saying no, like, they're going to move you somewhere else. So yes, it was an accident. Was there any contrition? No. I've had a bunch of people asking, like, why the house is so destroyed. People being like, you're an idiot because you only get mold if you let the water sit. You let the water sit. First of all, no. I had a mitigation and remediation company go out within 48 hours. What that means is they are there to remove all of the excess water. You know, they're there to do damage control, essentially. This is like what they do. And believe it or not, drywall is not waterproof, you guys. Drywall absorbs water. And my floors are concrete, and even they were wet. I'll post some pictures here in a minute of the guy posting moisture reads with like his little device. And I think he said anything over 80 or 90 is saturated. Basically, my house was saturated. And what they had to do was they brought in industrial grade dehumidifiers to run for literally like a month. Like, my electric bill that month was insane from running these things. That's how long it took for them to dry the house out. And the reason the house looks so destroyed is because even that was not enough. There was so much water that they were like, in order to actually fully dry your house out, we have to cut the drywall up 2 feet from the floor down to the studs in every single room, because it's the only way we're actually going to be able to dry the walls out internally. And if we don't do this, you are going to get mold, and that's obviously a way bigger problem. Another complication that happened with that is my house was built in 1959. Any houses that were built before 80 something, I can't remember the exact date, usually have asbestos in them. Asbestos is a hazardous material. So they had to test my walls for lead and asbestos, lead paint in old homes. There was no lead, but there was asbestos. So on top of cutting into the walls, they then had to bring in an abatement team to remove all of the asbestos. It was a crazy, crazy in-depth process. That's why my house is cut down to the studs. It is not because I let the water sit there. It is because my house was saturated. I'll show you the meter readings right now. Like, here's one of the meter readings, 92.6. Like, so that means saturated. When I'm up here, TikTok won't let me move it, but see, 99.9 soaked. This is the video my cleaner sent me directly after she got there. If you didn't see how much water was in the house. So, in case you missed it, that's how much water was in my house. And you might think, oh, it doesn't look like that much. But according to the water district, over 1,000 gallons of water was dispersed in my house in about 2 hours. Even like an hour and a half in the time that they were gone and the water got turned back on. So it was definitely a lot of water, definitely enough to do obviously hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage. Some quick questions that I'm getting. Do I have insurance? Yes, of course I have insurance. I'm not an idiot. Is my insurance covering me? Yes, for the most part, yes. Is Airbnb covering me? What you need to know about Airbnb is they tout like a $3 million air cover policy, but if you have a rental or anything of the sort and that is what you're relying on for your insurance, that's a terrible idea. Don't do that. You need insurance, okay? Insurance is my primary. Airbnb is my secondary. They're supplemental at best. Am I suing my guests? No, I'm not suing my guests. I'm not interested in suing my guests. I understand a lot of you are like, sue them, lawyer up, whatever. Here's the thing, I'm not in the business of revenge. This has been an incredibly hard, really long, difficult season of my life. Like, this house thing is just one thing of many, many things that have happened in my life. I don't have the energy to put towards being entrenched in some long court battle. I don't want to do that. What I want is for my house to be put back together. And for anyone being like, why would you sue them? It was an accident, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. Like I said, my insurance is covering most things, but there was a few things that they were giving me issue with. Airbnb was giving me issue with. That was the only time I was considering going after my guests, because I was going to be stuck with these bills that I just simply could not afford. And again, yes, it was an accident, but you know what? First of all, for anyone acting like I do not have the right to be upset that my house is destroyed merely because it was an accident. This was you and this was your house. You would feel the same damn way and you know it. Go ahead and keep arguing in my comments. By all means, you're really just giving me further engagement, so it doesn't even matter. Had my house been left empty at the time when the city turned the water off and it got turned back on, my house never would have flooded and I wouldn't be in the situation that I'm in now, okay? The fact that the faucet was turned on, that is the reason it flooded. So it was guest negligence, whether it was an accident or not. I'm not saying they did it maliciously. I'm not saying they wanted to ruin my life, but this is something that still happened and it affected me, obviously, because they left that tap running. Also, some of you are like, well, why didn't it drain? I don't know if the tub drain was plugged or what. I don't know. I was not there. Do you have an overflow drain? Yes, I have an overflow drain, but if you do a quick Google search, you will see that overflow drains are not meant to drain at the same rate that a faucet can fill. So it wouldn't have evened out anyway. Just suing the guests for a second. Like I said, the only time I was considering taking them to court was when the insurance and Airbnb were giving me issues on these few things. That has since all been worked out, so I'm not worried about it. But what would have happened even before that is I would have gone into arbitration with Airbnb. If you've ever looked at the terms and conditions on Airbnb's page, they have a whole process of, filing disputes with them, blah, 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 and it's arbitration. So I would have gone into arbitration with Airbnb first. If that hadn't worked, then I would have taken the guests to small claims court. Fortunately, I don't have to do either of those things. Thank God. Like, I don't have the energy. I don't have the desire. Like I said, I'm not in the business of revenge. I just want my house back. I want my life to be back in order again. I think that is a pretty reasonable thing to want. If you're mad because you think that I rage baited you into thinking that people threw some raging party and destroyed my house. Guys, it's called a video hook, okay? It's social media. Come on, let's move on. I'm not criminalizing my guests, but yes, I am upset. They ruined my house, accident or not. I am a human. I have my limitations, okay? Come on. If this happened to you, I don't think you'd be giving them a pat on the back and a kiss on the forehead and being like, sweetie, it's okay. You didn't mean to burn my house down. Be so for real right now. So it's so frustrating for anyone that's like pointing the finger at me and being like, you're a landlord, go to hell. Because it's like, look at my house and you think it's like a flip it and forget it. Like, I'm a landlord special type. You're missing the point. Like, if we just wanted to make a quick buck, like, we would have just put the house on Airbnb as it was, but instead we took a year of our lives to like put countless hours into it and like craft it into this thing and place that people could like appreciate and be inspired by. Like, I built a freaking tufted wall, for God's sakes. Like, you look at my house and you can't see all of like the thought, care, and intention that was put into it, then I can't help you. I know I will never win with everyone. I will never please everyone. Somehow I'm the villain for my house being destroyed to some of you, and you're not my people, because that's crazy work. You know, for the people that like appreciate the house for what it was and what it will hopefully be again, you know, like, thank you. I hope you'll stick around for the journey of, you know, the renovation beforehand and the reconstruction afterwards. I'm working on videos now to get posting on, you know, all of the work that my ex-husband and I did on the house, and I'm excited to share them because it's been such a long time and I've held on to it for a really long time because it was too hard to revisit before. But I'm excited to just kind of put it out there once and for all. So if you have any other questions, feel free, go ahead and ask them. But also, I'm not really looking through the comments because, like, mental health, and I'm not trying to be rage baited myself into arguing with people, and I fail sometimes. Sometimes some of you just like push the right button and I'm like, okay. But
what to do, everyday people, man? It's your boy PJ. Today we back with another lit video, back in the confessional. Yes, we staying lit, big dog, man. Shout out to my everyday people who rock with me every day. Hey, look here, we gonna get on Carmelo Anthony in a little bit, so shout out to y'all, man. Make sure y'all follow me, Gear Jammer. Make sure you follow me on Everyday PJ Politics, where we can talk about that for sure. You know what I'm saying? But today we're talking about this damn Airbnb thing. Now listen, I would be pissed too, but you know what the thing is about listening to people on the internet? It's like, just a few weeks ago, people were complaining about the complaints that the Airbnb host had. It was this white couple, and they were like, "Oh my God, they moved our furniture. That's against house rules. Not to move our furniture. Like, do not move our furniture." And then it was like, well, they must have had somebody playing here, because look, our rocks in our driveway are off. Like, then it was like, oh, where's the remote? The remote is not in the right spot. They had no respect for the house rules. What the are you talking about? So then now someone floods someone's house, and then they're mad at her for, let me go to her page. I don't know why my TikTok is looking so funky, but this is the house.
Ay, oh, let's go. Ay, oh.
How do I mute this shit? Okay. So this is them painting the house. This is turning it into the pink house. To be honest, this is horrible. I mean, I get it. I don't love pink that much. I don't love any color this much I don't know, but it for the aesthetics, I guess if it's for like a kid's birthday party or a themed birthday party, not just a kid's birthday party, but like it would be great. I guarantee you this like, look at that. Look at that. This is actually great. So I don't have no problem with them being like upset about it. Like, this is actually great. They turned the comments off on this. This is crazy. I don't understand why they did that. Oh my God. I just want to throw up in there. Oh, this is on Pinterest. Oh my God. This is on Pinterest.
I'll do some small footpath stepstones and some larger lights on either side of the pool. Then I'll add some hanging glass pendants from the patio and some other little accents throughout the yard. You guys remember the dress debate, black and blue or white and gold? Well, are these lanterns blue or gold? Okay, jokes aside, I think the lighting was exactly what this backyard was missing. Strangely, how did I not realize?
Y'all remember that viral post where people were saying, is the dress blue or is it gold? And different people were saying it's blue and different people were saying it was gold. It was weird as hell. I don't know.
Throughout the yard. You guys, these lanterns blue or gold? Okay, jokes aside,
that's what she was talking about right there.
Oh,
You don't know about doing whatever the you want? Damn. I'm sorry, man. Hope you find that someday. Oh.
Yeah, that's just too much, Pink. But anyway, shout out to her. But yeah, people don't like Airbnb hosts. Like they either like them or they don't like them. It doesn't matter what an Airbnb host. So I was invited to be an Airbnb host, and I was going to purchase my first Airbnb property, and I started looking online. And I was like, bruh, I don't have time to deal with people like that. I don't like people like that. Like I love y'all. I'm a people person. Like I'm a people person, but I don't like people. I don't like complainers. I don't like people who expect 5-star treatment when you're a 2-star. You're paying 2-star prices. Like you're not paying a lot. So why are you complaining? Like the main thing that I hate the most is like, you ever go somewhere with somebody and then they expect people to treat them like they're royalty, and it's just like, I mean, I look, I don't want them. If they messed up my food, so what? Look. Okay, I'm not gonna fight them over the food. Okay, I'd rather not send back my food and ask for some more. I would rather not send back my food and ask for some more. I don't want it. I don't want you to fix my order. I'm cool on it. It's not that bad. Listen, I like onions. I just eat around them. I'm not sending my food back. I'm not doing it. But there's people that insist on sending their food back and then getting some more and be like, okay, this is more like it. Now, if I pay $100 for a steak and you undercooking, I'm like, yeah, can I get this a little bit more done? They gonna do that because they know that's coming. But I'm not finna do it on no burger or no pizza. No, I'm not finna do it on Jaquarius and take Taquan. They don't give a fuck if you. They don't give a damn. Send that burger back if you want to. They gonna spit on it. Now, and I'm not just saying black people names just because I'm just saying names that people who gonna work in McDonald's. You know, there could be a Michael back there too. We don't know if Michael black or white. It don't matter. But the thing is, or maybe I should say Jace or Gunner. Jace or Gunner back there. Look at that. Just don't be racist in the comments, okay? But yeah, I'm not sending my money. I'm not sending no food back at no food restaurant. So I hate people that do it, and when people do it, it just irks my nerve. It's just like, man, they messed up. It is what it is. If you didn't pay top quality money for it, then I wouldn't do it. But if I paid $70 for a steak, yeah, I want the steak done how I want. And most steak places will be like, is it too rare? They'll be like, is it too, if it's too rare, we can sear it a little bit. They'll be like, we'll sear it a little bit and I'll be like, oh yeah, that's it. Because sometimes you can eat it and be like, man, it's right, but then you get further into it, be like, man, it's too rare in the middle. Like it'd be the right tone on the outside, but on the the closer you go enter with the meat, y'all know what I'm talking about. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, y'all not rich enough for me. Y'all a bunch of brokies. No, I'm just playing.
Everyday people.